not really, it's not really in the budget to be buying like a brand
We're
new
present.
laptop.
We're present. It's all good.
Well,
Mine is like 2 years old, so you'll live, I think.
my tablet's new. My phone
That
is
counts.
the newest new because Penny decided to
I
help
remember.
me
Totally
by
destroyed
getting
your
it
phone.
for me and then throw it to me, and then it went like
My
flat
child
on its back.
was mad. My 5-year-old, 5.5-year-old child who should know better, threw my phone down the hallway at my parents' house last weekend. And I was like, well, we're going to discipline this, but at least she didn't throw it over the landing for a one-story drop to the floor. Could have been worse.
Would have been so much worse.
Could have been worse. So
There's
that's kind
this
of where I was at.
there's this episode of Bluey where Bluey and Bingo
AB's
are
in the
talking.
house. Hey, AB.
Hey, Bluey and Bingo are talking to Muffin, one of the other little dogs on the phone. And they're doing what they call facey talk, so FaceTime or
Yeah.
whatever. And at a certain point, Muffin gets in trouble and starts running away with the phone and like won't give the phone back and is hiding under the bed. And it's just this big, big thing. And it's really, really, really funny. But at the
Because
end,
it's so true to real
because
life.
it's so true. And the other kids are like watching, like, we shouldn't be helping him, like, find out where to hide and all this stuff, you know? And then eventually, like, Muffin's running down the hallway, and all of a sudden, you just see it fly out the window into their swimming pool. And on the other side of like, because it's like showing the FaceTime on both sides. And
Yeah.
on the other side, you just see it like fall backwards into the pool and crack out and like
This is
disappear.
hilarious.
It was great. He's like, well, that's realistic.
Somebody somebody needs a new phone now. Oh,
Yes,
that's funny.
that show's real. Very real. So, anyways, my
I muted
computer,
myself by accident. Hello, Twyla. I don't know that I got that cut out before I accidentally muted myself.
I think you were fine.
That
My
happened a moment.
my computer won't work at all. So, you know,
It's all good.
we're
So
full of organization
Chantel and
here.
I may have started the high noons long before the live tonight. I'm just going to tell you all that right now. So
We're
we're
trying.
we're going to be in good form tonight, is what's going to happen. I'm already on
Although
number 3 because
we,
I bought the whole pack of just the black cherry. I've
oh,
seen
that's the
these
best
in real
one.
life before, but I've never actually done it. I just suffer through the other 3 flavors that they force upon you. But
Yeah,
when
it's
I
like
saw
grapefruit.
this, when I saw this, I was like, Stephanie,
I
you
know.
need to just get what you want. This is a good life lesson.
They'll give you black cherry, but then they'll give you like passion
Grapefruit.
fruit
Yeah, no
and
one wants this.
grapefruit and
Yes.
these other flavors, and you're like, it's almost worth it.
Just
Almost.
to get to the 2 black
Just to
cherries.
get to the black cherries.
Just the two. It's like, damn it, it's not black cherry, but I'll
It's
drink it.
not, you like grab, you know, like silently grab, and you're like, okay, please be a black cherry. And you're like, oh, it's
This is
lime.
how I feel about Spindrift. Like I've started Spindrift is a non-alcoholic beverage. It is a flavored water and they use actual fruit in it. So it actually tastes good. And I have been able to almost completely stop drinking pop because of this, because it's
It's true.
carbonated.
I
Yeah, it's
remember you
carbonated
bringing them.
water. And I feel when I'm done with it, like I've had a pop, but it's like 3 calories because it's literally water with some like lemon squirted in it. And so
Yeah.
it replaces that feeling for me of popping a Coke and having 120 calories versus 3. But when I buy them at Costco, which is the cheapest way, I have to have the flipping grapefruit, which is more
Mm.
calories. It's only 13, but still, it's more calories, and I don't like it, but I have to accept it as part of the deal,
We
just
understand.
like I have to accept other than black cherry. If High Noon ever wants to sponsor us,
High Noon would like to
we are your
take a
target
chance.
audience. We are
We
like
are
late
the target.
30s,
Yeah.
early 40s. We don't want to, I mean, we will drink
We're
beer, but
parents.
we do not want to drink beer anymore. We just want to have something that tastes good, is low enough calories to where we can have a couple and not feel bad
Hmm.
about it.
Doesn't hit
And
hard,
yes,
but
you
hits
don't,
enough.
I need to be like mellowed out enough to get over the fact that my children are incapable of sitting in the back seat together without screaming at each other.
I just need to
But
put my children to bed.
yes, but good
Just,
enough to like not be like we don't need college level
oh
situation.
no.
I mean, it's you have enough of these, you can get there,
I
but
need like
we
enough
don't need to
alcohol
be
to be
there.
cough syrup. That's it.
Yes.
And this kind of fits that bill.
So this only happened to me the first time I tried this. My mother-in-law got us this giant jar of CBD gummies
Oh
for sleep,
goodness.
for sleep. And
But
CBD
they were
is
CBD, yeah.
it's not marijuana. It's just like the
It's the
it's like the feel good
bioderivative
part of
of
it.
it
Yeah.
that
It's the
doesn't
feel
have the
good.
THC.
Yeah, it doesn't get you high. It just has the feel good part of it. And so I have trouble sleeping off and on, and I'm in an on stage. And so I was like, "Ah, hell, I might as well try it." And I asked my husband, I was like, how many of these supposed to take? And he goes, up to four. And I'm like, okay, four. And so I take four. And the first time only, this has not worked since, but the first time only, I like woke up in the middle of the night a little bit, and he asked me some question. I was like, I just feel too fuzzy. I can't. I
I
can't.
feel fuzzy. Oh,
But that only happened the first time. After that, it was like, oh, whatever. They don't even work anymore for me.
oh,
But
I'm sorry.
I
I
know.
wish I'm not going to know what the comments say today because
It's all good. I
apparently
will read
my
them.
laptop is
AB is
dead.
laughing at my where I want to be in terms of alcohol intoxication because my
It's
children
true.
can't handle themselves. And um, she also drinks LaCroix. No idea. It tastes like Alka-Seltzer. Yeah, I was not a fan of LaCroix. I've tasted that, and that to me tastes like coconut water, whatever flavor I have, and I'm not a fan of coconut. So maybe I just had a bad flavor. Um,
Yeah, some people
but
really, really love LaCroix.
she tried
And so,
Propel powder. To me, it's the carbonation. Like I need the
you want the
carbonation
bubbles.
because then I feel like I've had a Coke.
Have you tried champagne?
Um, not since our pledging night.
That's
I could
probably a bad question.
I could barely
A
drink
triggering
it at
question.
my wedding, Chantel.
Oh
Barely
no.
drink it then because it was just like,
So
when you
bad.
have too much of a certain drink and then it makes an appearance again later
I
in the
can't drink
evening.
Stella anymore.
You're just
Not
you're done. You're done. You do not need that
forever.
anymore in your life and you're good. And so that's pretty much my feelings on champagne. I was first down and second up. Or wait, no, second down and first up on that one.
That that was
That was a night. I don't like to lose, Chantel. If someone's going to
no,
challenge me to something, I'm gonna flip
no.
and win. I'm gonna win.
And like you're the definition of they're like, you can't do 110% because that's over 100%. And you're like, watch it.
I'll give you 120. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I
What are
give
you
you
talking about? I can
everything.
do this. There was a challenge of how fast one could drink a bottle, a whole bottle. And they were
This
buying
was
you the
like
good
the
stuff.
2000, early
Yeah.
2000s.
They
Like,
were not
it
buying you
was
the good
not,
things. This is like a $5 bottle of Andres.
oh, I bet you that was $4.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
And
probably
so
still $4.
I don't know, inflation, maybe it's eight. But
I don't know. If you
there
buy by the box,
there were what? There were 26 of us in that pledge class.
26, yeah.
I was the second to finish my bottle, and I was the first to see it again. And that was it for me and champagne.
I really like champagne.
Yeah,
I
well,
really
I'm
enjoy
happy
champagne.
for you that
This
you
this
didn't
is
have it
like
totally ruined
this is
thanks to
like
that.
champagne. It has bubbles in it, I guess is the
Oh,
point.
goodness. I hope my mother never watches this episode. I'm pretty sure she doesn't watch any of them. If so, sorry, Mom. I drank before I was
We
21.
love you guys that always tune in because you're like
Yes,
our friends now. You just
I know,
show
right?
up and we're like,
You get to hear our crazy
"Hey,
college
hey
stories.
guys."
Oh, I think I'm actually going to sew tonight, though. I'm feeling like
Hmm.
I'm going to actually tackle the stack. Maybe not right away, but this
I
has
wish
been
I had
sitting
your stack
here
there.
for like 2 weeks now. I pinned all
It's
these together 2 weeks ago. It's time to do something with it.
I understand. I mean, what I cut these out, my little animals
Oh
and
yes.
my
How is
little
that going? We
barn
need a
piece.
project
Oops.
update for you.
Yeah, it's not. But I cut, look at that. Whoa, look.
They're so cute.
I cut out all the little things
Now
so that
you're
I can
enveloping
quilt
these,
them up.
right?
I'm gonna
Or are you
envelope
quilting
them, but I
first?
went ahead and cut the back so that I'll peel them apart. I'll do the embroidery
Okay.
essentially, and then I'll envelope them.
So
And then I'll
you
do a
still
few
have,
little tacks. I have
you
quite a
know,
few steps.
one moment. Let me mute myself so I can yell at my husband.
Let me mute myself so I can yell at my husband.
He wanted to know if the dog was down here or if he was outside roaming around somewhere, and he
Oh,
is in
it's
fact
Remy.
down
He's
here with
here.
me. Yep, he's Remy. Remy is by
I
me,
got my boy over
100%.
here too.
You do. What is
Yeah.
it about boy dogs and their female mothers? Like,
It's like boys
it's
and their
inseparable.
mothers. They just never,
This is true. Chantel likes to say that our mother-in-laws handed the umbilical cord off to us.
and we just took them,
We just took it.
just took them in.
We didn't question this. We weren't like, you mean you don't know how to pay a bill on time?
We just like tied it to our purse string and
You don't know how to manage your own bank account? Okay. I
you
guess
want
I'll
to
take
join
care
my
of that
bank? You
for
want to
you.
drive my car? You want to
Yeah. Your credit is
It's not
terrible,
that
so
they
I
weren't
have to
smart
co-sign
boys.
for the wedding or the credit card for the engagement ring. Sure, no problem. Like, oh,
We shared my car like all through college basically. He didn't
yeah,
have his own car. We when we combined our bank accounts, we jumped onto my bank account,
yeah.
you know. Actually, my bank called me this week and they're like, "Congratulations." And I'm like, "What did I do?" You know? And they're like, "Well, besides your balance being significantly better in the
Congratulations,
last few
that's good.
years, you've been with us for 20 years." And it's like, "Oh my God. How have I been old enough to have a bank account for 20 years? I'm only 25."
That that doesn't, yeah, that would be a sad thing to feel like. I feel like.
Yeah, so I literally got a call from my bank congratulating me on my 20 years of
I mean, that's some good customer retention, I feel like, though,
yes. Well,
to
actually,
be
never
appreciated.
know which no each bank doesn't know who owns me because I don't have a bank in town here.
Hmm.
So, like, I'm pretty sure that Rock Island and Bloomington are arguing over who gets to do our banking because now it's more lucrative than it used to be when we
It
had
probably is.
$7 in the checking
Could
account.
You're probably worth a little bit more than you were when we were drinking $4 champagne bottles.
I mean, if I even paid for that bottle, somebody probably bought it for me.
Oh, I know, right? Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
those good days. But I think I will sew a little bit too,
Do
but
you
I
remember
don't want to do
Zima?
this. But who?
Zima? It
What's
was
Zima?
like a seltzer, alcohol seltzer. I think they talked about it on that 90s show, but it was like very big when we were in town.
Oh, was it? See, I avoided
People
those
would put
drinks.
like a Jolly Rancher in it, and it basically was like diabetes in a bottle.
Oh,
And
well, this probably explains a lot for me.
yeah,
I probably had quite a few of those.
maybe. Oh, that was actually, so I dated a very straight-laced person for the majority of my freshman year. And we were actually quite serious, given probably too serious, given
I
where we
didn't
were
know
at in our
Stephanie at this
lives.
point
No,
because I
Chantel had not
started a
come to
year
school yet.
later.
I'm older than Chantel by 1 year.
She's so much older, like
Oh, so much.
year. Yeah.
So he was very straight-laced and he was not at all like we never went anywhere. We never went out to anything. And then when we broke up, I was like, I would like to try this thing called alcohol. And we lived in the
The
girls' dorm.
relationship never ended.
Yeah, it definitely is not. Um, we lived in the girls' dorm, which was super, super strict. And like one time I
What?
got in trouble because I was listening to Shakira on my clock radio CD player. It was too loud. When I turned it down one volume, I could not hear it across the room. So this is like the atmosphere I was in. And so we
It
decided
felt like a
we're,
nunnery at
I
times.
know, we decided it was a Lutheran school. So, we were supposed to be on the straight and narrow. Um, we decided we were going to drink in one room And then we were going to go watch a scary movie in another room. So that way, if I was ridiculous because they weren't quite sure what was going to happen, then if we got caught, if I was too noisy watching this movie, we wouldn't have alcohol with us. So we were thinking this through very clearly. And
Somebody was.
yeah, not me. Um, I belly danced as a workout like my entire college
She
career.
did. I
I
remember
did. It was
like
a lot of
trying to
fun.
keep up with this. This was a thing.
I loved going out dancing. It was the most fun thing in the world. I need to get back into that. That's a great ab workout. That would definitely help with my C-section shelf.
I tell you, all the Baby No
Tangent.
Money I listen to, I swear to you, it's the only workout
I
I
need to
get.
check them out. But so they were judging like how intoxicated is Stephanie by how well can she perform a hip shimmy. And when it was totally ridiculous and all over the place, this is when they decided after 3 beverages, you've had enough, Stephanie. And so then we
You've
went
done it.
and we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I am normally like somebody who is like scared of stuff like this. I was so out of it. I was not paying attention at all. I did not know what was going on in the movie. I woke up at 3 a.m. stone cold sober, scared to death. And then I was like, and there's nobody awake at this point to like, be like, it's okay, Stephanie, it was just a movie.
Oh God. Oh
So
Lord.
that was my very first experience with alcohol. It was very tame. It was with my girlfriends. We were in the dorm. It was very safe. Like we literally never left. And they judged how intoxicated I was by how well I could perform a belly dancing move. So that was
I
I feel like that was very safe. Like there could be way worse
that was
experiences.
like cute college girl giving
Pretty
it a
much.
shot.
Yes.
I can't share my story, unfortunately. It's not
Oh, if my mother heard this, she still would be mad
not
at me.
cute.
She would be I would be getting a phone call if my mother heard about this, that I drank in my college dorm freshman year.
But
She
I
would be like,
will
"You did
say,
what, Stephanie?" And you shared it on the internet. And I'd be like,
yeah, in the first 30 minutes too,
"I
Mom.
did." This is what happens when Stephanie is already 2 drinks in when we start the live.
She's gonna start belly dancing.
No, I'm not. It's a no. My belly does not look the way it did when I was
My
19.
belly
We're not going to
dances,
subject
but I'll
that to
tell
you.
you, it's not by option.
I think it's dancing right now when I'm laughing.
Excuse me. I've been getting over a cold this week, so the laughing
What
is
day are
going to
you on?
cause
Are you almost
like
done with your
6 or
plague?
7. Gosh, I mean,
No, weren't you
it's
like 4 last week?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because I was already sick, and then it got really gnarly.
You should be nearly done, one would
I'm
think.
at I'm at the point where I have the lingering cough like kids have,
Yes.
where they just like hack on everything. And
One
sometimes it's
time
bad and sometimes it's not. So
at Quilt Market. So Quilt Market during the day, it's a industry trade show where everybody who works together throughout the year all comes and gets together. Quilt shops will go by, but like it's a lot of networking as well, where you see people twice a year that you work with all year long. And so when you're a designer, sometimes you get invited out to go to different dinners. And I'm at a dinner with Clothworks and the whole team and the president, whatever. And there were some, like the host of Fonz and Porter Level Quilting was there, and she was dating one of their sales reps. So we were all like hanging around, shooting the shit. And my aunt's with me. And it gets to the end of the night, and I'm on week like 3 of a cold at this point, and I can keep
oh
it
man.
together unless I'm drinking something cold. So it's the end of the night, everyone's ordering their beverages or whatever, and I'm like, "Do you have tea?" And they're making fun of me because I'm ordering tea at like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm like week 3 of a cold." So then we start discussing the female cold versus the man cold.
Oh, the
And
man cold.
the significant other of the host of Fonz and Porter Level Quilting was like, "No, it really is worse." And he just got lit into. It was so funny. It was
The man
so
cold is a very
completely
different thing.
hilarious. Apparently it is.
My little duck.
It was so funny.
I
Never
got his
moved
little
any.
feet and his little nose done.
Oh. Are you going to
Here's
do
the
anything in
back.
like
See,
those whites?
I don't know. I'm gonna do his eye, and then I think I'm gonna put him down for a few minutes and then go to the next thing and just keep
Think about it
decorating
later.
while it's entertaining.
This is good.
Because if I lose the entertainment value, I'm lost.
Chantel and
it's
I were
over.
talking about being bored, and I was like, I just I'm doing this thing, and it's like I just don't really want to do it. Like it's not pulling my attention. She's like, "Oh, that's bored." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it is."
That's bored.
But it's bored.
That's what that is. That's like
Let's
90%
see.
of all things for me.
Hello, Michelle. And I do not have any mosaic style borders in my upcoming book. I generally do not like
She
borders. I
doesn't
try
like
to
borders.
avoid borders, mostly because not
You
that
don't
I
like making
won't.
them.
I will use them. I have used them. It is not my favorite thing because I just don't like to put them on. I feel like at that point I'm done with the quilt. I've had my experience with it. I'm ready to just like throw it on the long arm and do the next step. So I try to avoid borders as a rule because I have a personal aversion to them, but to each their own. So
Well, see, I don't love putting on a border, but man, it is satisfying to take a quilt that is too small and make it too big.
I get that. And that is a really easy way to make that work.
Yeah. I mean, and it can be really fun to quilt too, as long as you put
Yeah,
them on
that I
right.
do like. I like having some fun in a border from a quilting perspective. What I don't like
I
is
just want to
thinking,
quilt
"Oh,
other people's quilts
I've
at this
got
point.
my quilt top done." And then I've got like another 2 hours of putting like two little borders around. By the time I pinned everything properly and sewed around it and everything works the way it should, that's what annoys me because I'm thinking, oh, I'm almost done. I get the dopamine hit. And then it's like, no, no, not
No,
really.
just
You still have
kidding.
all these things to do.
That
And
is
then that
how it is
annoys me.
too.
Yeah,
What's everybody working on? Although I
I
can't see what you're
know.
working on.
Well, I can read it for you.
Yes,
I
you're
am
gonna have
not,
to. I'm
I
kind
am
of
not
concerned
that
about my
far.
laptop here. Well, I mean, I guess it's 5 years old. That's pretty old for a laptop these days, huh?
I still have one going that's like 10. I need a new charger though.
My one from design school, it would have been from 2009, still works.
Wow, that's
Not
impressive.
only that, it's
Is any
Windows
of the software
7.
compatible?
No, I can't
How
hook it
on
up to the
earth
internet anymore.
were you using a PC in design school?
You
Like
couldn't use
Mac?
a laptop. They couldn't hold the programming for AutoCAD.
Strange. Like I
I
feel
mean, they
like
could, but not at that capacity. I
I
mean,
feel like Mac is like the design, the
oh,
computer of
they didn't
design.
have a lot of those programs are not made for Mac at all. They have
Really?
CAD for Mac now, but a lot of the other programs I ended up using, like Maya, we toyed around in Revit towards the end, which is unfortunate because that program became very, very, very important and would have been
That,
good to know.
that
All of that
happens
stuff doesn't
to
go into
like
everybody had to like dual boot their computers basically.
Quark Express used to be like the program for designing anything in publishing.
Hmm.
And then Adobe just took over. And they were very compatible, so it was very easy to switch. But I
I
was
still
glad that
have,
I had access to both in my college career, so it was easy to flop over.
oh,
Let's
nice.
see.
Yeah.
Twyla
I've,
is working on embroidery. AB had surgery on Monday, so she's able to get
oh,
some projects ready for when she can sew again. I hope you're doing well. That
exactly.
can
Yeah.
that can be, depending on what you've got going on, that can be a minute before you're ready to go.
I have a question. It's a farm question.
Okay.
Do bulls have udders?
Um, I'm thinking no. I'm thinking that is you know, that is a they cow, I think.
I,
Um, because I don't think so. I think that maybe is not designed to be anatomically correct.
maybe I'll make that a crown. I don't know. I'm
You
looking
could.
at that and I'm like, that's not quite right. But hey, cute animal. Whatever.
Michelle is getting ready for quilt retreat projects. She's a
Oh,
5 day
nice.
retreat. That is smart. So I believe in prepping everything ahead of time and cutting everything ahead of time because then when you get there, you can just start sewing. And I'm way more likely to make mistakes if I'm cutting like in public or live on the internet.
You know
So
this.
these are things that I tend to do in the privacy of my own situation instead of in front of people. Michelle says that bulls do not have horns. or have udders, and so does AB. Um,
I mean, it has horns,
Michelle
so
says bulls have something, but not udders. Something,
it has three of them.
something.
So
I mean, I feel like that could be a plot line for a book.
right
Um,
there. We've been reading a lot. You guys
we
know
have
that.
been reading a
We're
lot.
trying not to talk just about reading, but
I
we can't help ourselves.
branched out a little bit this week, and it's not something I'm ever gonna want to talk about in public because it's like
She's been reading different books,
I
and
described it to
it's been
Chantel as this is like
really cringy.
80%, it's 80% smut and 20% plot,
It's
which
cringy.
I would prefer it to be like the other way around and even less of the smut. Like I want a little spice with a lot of build up so that way when you get the spice, it's like, yes,
It's
finally.
because you're supposed to have
I
spice,
do
not
not
because
need it to be worked into every single chapter. But that doesn't mean that I'm totally against it being worked into every chapter. It's kind of like when you have a slice of chocolate cake. You enjoy the chocolate cake. Are you going to eat the chocolate cake every day? No, definitely not. But I feel like that's kind of what this book is. Like I had to put the series down because I'm like, this is too much. Like I can't listen to this nonstop anymore. I need a break. I need
it's
plot. I need character development. I need to understand what's going on in this world.
there's like yeah,
Like
it's just really trashy sounding to me. I wouldn't
it is
touch it.
really trashy. It's
But
incredibly
I want to
trashy.
hear about it. Like I want Stephanie to read it so I can hear all of the cringe points, but I
I'm
don't want to spend
literally this
my time reading
I'm
it.
literally describing this to Chantel, and she's like, in the right hands of the right author, this would have been an amazing plot. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, yeah, it probably would have been.
like the
But
storyline's great.
that is not the purpose of what this author's trying to do. She has a specific
They
purpose in mind, and it
read
is
their
not,
porn like a lady.
yeah, pretty much.
It's just
Oh, but yeah. Michelle's reading a book called Quilting with My Mother. That it sounds much sweeter than what Chantel and I have been reading lately.
this is like quilting with your vampire boyfriends.
Yeah, plural boyfriends. It's
It's
wild.
raunchy.
It's so bad. It's like I can never like I'm
You
literally
can't put down books that you start though.
no, I really have a hard time with it.
I I can
Like
divorce a book in a day.
it's literally like the second chapter is incredibly cringe and I'm like, but I can't stop. Like I need to figure out what happens to this poor girl. And like I
Like
think
there has
every
to be a
normal
reason.
person would be like, this is horrible. Why am I reading this? Let's get the refund on Audible. But I'm like, I need to know. I need to know what happens now. I need the whole story. I need to get through the entire trilogy, maybe the origin
Trilogy,
story
guys.
too.
It's a
Yes,
trilogy
I'm
of
halfway
this
through the second
garbage.
book and it is trash, but I
And like
can't
I'm
stop
not reading this one,
because I
just to be
need to
very
know it.
clear.
I know. I'm
I
literally
will not.
texting her and I'm like, this one is not for the podcast at all, ever.
No.
There's no literary development in this whatsoever. There's nothing to unpack. It is
It is
it is not,
unpacked and
yeah.
it is already unpacked.
Oh goodness. Carol is starting wants to start a new quilt so bad, a string quilt, but is having a hard time cutting the fabric.
Oh, I
Like, are you
feel
having a
that.
hard time like physically cutting the fabric? Because I feel like an AccuQuilt situation would be good with that. Or are you mentally having a hard time cutting into the pretty fabric? Because I feel
I
like there's two different reasons why you would have a hard time.
I am the person that struggles to start the project because of all the possible hurdles that might exist, or the fact that the fabric is pretty, or the fact that I don't have a perfect plan, or things like that. So I relate if it's that side of it for sure.
Twyla says she loves string quilts and it is a great way to use fabric. And Carol's having trouble because the fabric is so pretty. Well, maybe
Oh,
you
I
could
get that
use
too.
either. It's not for this project because it's not for cutting up tiny. Or you can make it a little bit wider so you could have a little bit more. Michelle's reading a romance story about a college-age woman. They're always college-aged.
Why?
I don't know.
Why can't
Because
they be middle-aged and awkward with children who want to,
because
because
we're
that's not
trying to
fun.
escape our lives. That's why.
Because we don't want to read about ourselves.
We
We
want to
want to
be
remember
20
the
again, and we
beauty.
want to we want to ride a dragon and fall in love for the first time and,
We want to
have
ride
some
dragons.
magic, in our lives. That sounds fun.
That does sound fun. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Sign me
She
up.
meets her mom's friend's son. Oh, that's sweet. Are they love interests? That would be adorable. That would be so cute.
I do like a good cute
Basically,
book occasionally.
yes.
I'm doing this without a
Chantel
hoop.
Chantel was teasing me because I was late tonight, and she was like teasing what was I up to. And actually that was what I was
She's like,
doing
I'm
is
in the bathroom.
I was late because I was writing a cutesy little scene is what I was doing.
Oh, of course.
I was, but
She's busy writing.
I was writing.
She's always
We were
busy writing.
talking today, well, lately. We were talking today about creative projects and filling up our mental health buckets. And so we wanted to spend a little bit of time on that because I think a lot of us turn to creative pursuits as a way to endure. I don't want to say endure our lives.
It
That
can be
makes
a
it
way
sound
to
like our lives are,
experience it. It can be a
yes,
way to avoid it. It can be a way to enhance it. It can be a way to cope with it. It can,
like
you know,
literally, I love my children. I love them dearly. I would do absolutely anything for my children. And I do sacrifice significant things for them.
yes.
But from the moment I pick them up to the moment my husband comes home, they are about ready to kill each other every second of every day. And it is amplified tenfold whenever they're in the back seat of my car, which is often. And and then you add in a trip to Costco included in that, where we have to wait for a pizza to cook. Oh my God. It is the end of the
You,
world.
yeah, it
Like
is
I
a
texted
test
Chantel
of
and I was
strength.
like, I'm going for a booze run. And that's why I'm on my third drink right now at 10 o'clock at night because I love them dearly, but it is exhausting. And so
It is exhausting.
the idea of having a creative outlet where I can be like, honey, I've had them now for 4 hours straight. You take them for an hour. I'm going to go do something else all by myself. Like
All by
that,
myself.
I so need that in my life. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be sewing, it can be working on a fiction story, it can be, you know, going and lifting heavy stuff at the gym. I need something to
Yes.
do that is just for me that I can throw myself into. And it just
And some
makes, I've been
people,
so happy
yeah,
lately because I've been living in a totally different world. Like I
you're
have
living
all
in a
my
book
little book,
world.
I've been, well, book worlds that I'm reading, but also one that I'm creating. And I just get to live there and escape there sometimes.
I've
And
been
they have
living there too.
problems. They have problems, but they're not like real problem. Like they're not real world problems. They're not my problems.
They don't follow you out of the book.
They're
Like,
gonna have a happy ending. It's all good.
it's funny. My
But
now my things, what it was kind of like a spur of the moment comment that I didn't even think of until we were talking the second time for the day,
yeah.
where she's like, "You said something earlier."
Yeah, she told me. She's like, "You're in your little creative project and you're so much happier when you have a creative project." I'm like, "Yes, I am, aren't I?" And I don't
But
know.
we're
It
both
means so
kind of
much.
like that. My creative projects, I like a design type project. That's just me though.
Yeah.
Mine's not going to be a creative writing project because that's not something that gives me joy. Now, it does
You
give me
have
joy when
you have
you
been
like,
very essential in
yeah,
helping me
when
work
you
through
when
my
you call
stuff.
me and ask me questions and I get to like help. I love doing that. That's fun and creative and it gives you the little dopamine hit and then I carry on with my day. That's
I may
great. But do
have
I want to
texted
write the
her.
book?
I may have texted her because her husband's a doctor. And I said, if this character receives this wound,
Will they die?
Would she sever an artery and puncture a lung because I need a really big injury? But, but she has to be wearing armor when she gets it. So this is the type of stuff that Chantel randomly gets texted at 10 o'clock at night sometimes.
But I also get the
But
questions that are like, I am writing this scene, and then I'll be like, well, what is this? What about this? What do you mean? And we all need a creative project, and it
yes,
has lit you up lately. And that
it
is
has.
something so many people have started watching you for your creative endeavors and for your excitement of it, like things,
I
you know.
literally, this is how I became a journalist. I wrote 3 books in high school that were absolute dog shit, but I did it and it was fun. And I knew I liked to write, and I thought this is the only way anybody's going to pay me to write. So it was either that or become an English teacher in high school. Glad I didn't do that. But that would have been soul sucking probably. So I became
You
a
would have been writing
journalist.
books anyways.
Yeah, I became a journalist. And that when I entered journalism, it was a different world than like 2 years after I graduated. It was just print journalism, just like
It was
nosedived, like right after I graduated. So I needed something else to do. I needed a creative outlet. I managed to be creative a lot in my career. But I ended up being able to do it in an art form that was a medium I didn't really know existed when I was growing up. And that was really fun for me. And now I get to go kind of back to my first love. And is anything going to come of it? Who knows? I don't care. I'm having fun. So, but back to you and your creative situation.
mine have to be making making things that last.
Yeah.
Making food doesn't make so the dopamine hit
No.
has, and then it has to be like the
I think you
serotonin in the
enjoyed
long term.
some of the cookies. I think you enjoyed decorating the sugar cookies.
Yes, the part where you get to sit and stare at them, particularly at the end, and like take in. I liked doing the sugar cookies, but cooking is not my thing. And I've said this
Many
probably
times.
quite a few times here, but a million times to my friends that when I make a quilt, it lasts for like forever. Maybe not forever, but essentially
A long time.
for a really long time, right? If I make dinner, people eat it and it's gone like immediately.
Yeah.
Apparently, I like cluttery crafts, things that make things that last. Because, well, I mean, making food just makes me, I don't know. I like when other people make food a lot.
Yes, I know. You're very appreciative of it because I make Chantel food often when we see each other. And I
Yeah,
know she's
well,
always
because
very appreciative of that.
I'm like, I'll pay for anything. Just make the food.
It's all good. One time she asked her husband like an hour ago, like before food was supposed to be ready, do you need anything? And he's like, oh, no, no. And then like
No.
20 minutes before it's ready, do you got anything for sides? And Chantel's like panicking. And I'm like, what do you have in the kitchen? And
I was panicking. That wasn't
she's
fair.
got,
We had a
she's got some,
guest.
she's got some random sweet potatoes out on the counter. And I was like, okay, let's look at Pinterest. Let's see what we can make with some sweet potatoes. And
And I'm just
so
like, I don't know
and
what
we
to
like
do.
cobbled together some stuff and threw it together and turned out really good. We made sweet potato mashed potatoes and it turned out quite good. And we threw some garlic and some bacon bits in it and it was very yummy.
It was really good.
It was,
And it
but like,
balanced well with that brisket.
but well, that I was, who knows? I was not knowing that that was going to work, but I was like, what do we got? We can make it work. But
Not me.
Pinterest is my pan. We have some comments.
Hmm.
Um, Carol has a die cutting machine for strips, and so that's how she got started when she was too scared to use a rotary cutter. I have friends who have actually ended up in the ER because they've sliced off bits of their fingers.
Oh,
So I can see why that would be scary, but they do actually make gloves that you can get to where they won't cut you if that's something that you struggle with. And Michelle, I think we need to hear about Quilting with My Mother is the name of this book. This sounds like the quilting romance book that I read that was my grandmother's, because apparently this college age girl who meets her mom's friend's son They meet each other after the girl accidentally runs out of the shower because of a loud noise and almost loses her towel. So this is one heck of a meet cute for a romance story. And I feel like we all need to read Quilting with My Mother now because this sounds more interesting than it originally sounded like.
Well, sounds more interesting than the book you were reading.
Well, I mean, depends on
Not
what
hard to
you're
do.
trying to get out of it. Oh, goodness. But
Yeah, we all need our creative endeavors though, and I need a different project right now other than just doing this barn thing. I feel like I'm
did you find, I
overdone on
mean,
this.
well, you redid your a room.
Yes,
Chantel,
I did.
at
I
one
did
point
do
in
my daughter's
time,
big girl room.
was a licensed interior designer and probably still could be if you wanted to redo
Oh
that.
yeah, no, I it wouldn't
So this
be
is when
because my
Chantel does
degree's
a
in it.
room, when Chantel does a room, this is not the same as you and me redecorating a room. So Chantel had a lot of fun with that one.
I did. It was a whole thing.
Like
But
it looks like it could go in a magazine.
oh, well, that's too sweet. I don't even have all the art up.
It looks good.
It turned out really cute. And she's very excited about her big girl bed. And so far she has stayed in it. And I told her at nap time that she needed to stay in her bed when, whatever. And she actually did. Like she woke up and after her nap and like stayed in her room for like 10 minutes. It was like waiting for her to come down. And nope, she stayed in her bed. I told her to stay in her bed. So she did. I was
This
like,
is
you know
good.
what? I don't know another kid in the world that would have followed that direction.
None of mine would.
My other
Not a
two wouldn't.
single one.
No.
Although, when Lily was a baby, we had gotten bunk beds for the girls because they had to share a room. They still share a room. And the ceiling is not very high. So the bottom bunk is literally like there's slats on the floor and then the mattress
Hmm.
goes on top of that. So it's very low to the ground. It was perfect for having a little one in it because they couldn't roll too far off.
Right.
And Lily was 8 or 9 months old when we got Jelly Roll, a Basset Hound puppy, who was 8 pounds when we got her. And those two were like babies together and grew up together. Every afternoon at nap time, they would go snuggle together and take a nap every
Oh,
single day. It was so adorable. So we have so many pictures. It's just the cutest thing. They like literally lay nose to
they
nose.
like dog bed together.
It was so cute. And they would just, because it was like basically like dog bed level, they could both just climb in and snuggle up. And
Oh, that's really
it
cute.
was so cute. It was adorable. It was absolutely adorable.
I'm aching from like sitting weird. What did I do?
You are 39. That's what you did.
I did 39.
Yep, that's what you did.
That's what I did.
Oh, my dad turned 68 today and he could not remember how old he was. And
Oh,
I mean, he knew generally about how old he was and
oh
it
well,
took a
yeah, we
minute,
all know
you know.
generally about how old we are.
And then they were laughing because they're like, we don't even know how old we are. And I was like, I get it. Like, I'm already having that feeling and I'm
My
like
body's
30 years
telling
younger than
me,
you.
yeah,
So,
my body's telling me that I'm older based on my current achy back. Well, because I sat here with my legs crossed the whole time because I'm
yeah,
like excited and I'm working, and then I realize that I'm sitting like Gollum,
yeah. My
like
precious,
my
my precious
precious,
embroidery.
my precious embroidery project. So now, oh well, if I bend too far back, it's going to hurt too.
I know. Oh,
Whatever.
I sometimes want to go get my back popped by a chiropractor, but after hearing about horror stories from your husband, I now don't think I can ever go
Yeah,
again.
he fixes a lot of chiropractors' problem.
Yeah.
A lot of issues. They're not all bad, don't get me
No,
wrong,
I'm sure they're not.
but don't let them touch your neck. Yeah.
You know, I very much enjoy the videos online of chiropractors doing the neck and comparing it to like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where they're killing the vampire
Oh
because
God.
the motion looks the exact same. It is
It
like
is the
it's like
exact
turn, look,
same.
turn, and it like real fast in the crack. Like it
Yeah.
literally it
Mm,
looks no different than Buffy like annihilating a vampire on
the
Buffy the
amount of
Vampire Slayer.
strokes that he gets from chiropractor issues is alarming.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll color. Maybe I'll go upstairs. So I have this color
Oh, that
book
can be fun.
and it's all like graffiti quilting,
Hmm.
but maybe I'll run upstairs and get my markers. I got some Sharpies over here. I'll go get those.
You make that work.
They're not as fun as my alcohol markers though, that are like they just blend into
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, yeah, the pigment on those are all
Yeah.
so much higher.
Oh, look at this
We
one. It's like an owl.
Oh, well, that's perfect. You have to work on that now.
That or I mean, I'm looking around my room. I have a million started projects, right?
Well, that's why I feel a little bad about this one. I'm like, it's literally sat here for 2 weeks. I need
I
to
wish I had a project of
give
that
it some
step though.
attention. I
Oh,
know, but my next step with this, like, it's going to be so long before I do anything else with this because the very next thing I need to do is literally lay it all out on my bed and sew it all together. And I need like a solid day to do that. And I don't know when
you
I'm
need
going to
a
have a solid
retreat for
day
that.
to do anything. Even then, it would be hard because I would need to like literally lay the whole thing out. It's very different sewing now for funsies versus I have to get this quilt done for this deadline for this work thing
I
so we can
bet.
sell stuff. Like, it would have been no big deal for me to be like, I'm not doing anything today. I'm sewing all day. This is what I need to do to get done. No one would
Mhm.
bat an eye. Everyone would be cool with that. I could sew all night long. My husband would manage the kids. It was fine. Like,
Right.
I do not get that privilege anymore.
No.
Not one bit. And like, especially laying out a quilt top, I don't have a place in my house where I can just like leave it out.
Oh, it's
So
got to
this
be
is
like a one and done.
like I've got to commit. I'm going to get this at least into rows today, and then I can label my row or like my columns,
Yes.
and then I can set it aside for a little bit. But like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
can't.
and I need like fresh sheets on the bed so I don't end up with dog hair everywhere. Like it's a whole
And the
situation,
dogs
people.
can't be allowed in there so they don't go jumping on the bed.
It's mostly just Remy that's the problem with
Well,
jumping in bed.
yes.
The Basset Hounds have
I
no
wasn't
hope
going to
or prayer.
discriminate against the
Yes,
basset hounds. I know they need
yes,
to be
they cannot.
allowed onto the bed.
They do for sure. They need a butt boost. All right. So this book is called Quilting with My Mother by Courtney Gruvo. If anybody wants to read a romance novel that also includes quilting.
There's like a whole bunch of quilty mystery books I know of.
Yes.
I've never read them.
I have started a series on a knitting mystery series. That is kind of fun. Um, and I started reading that a little bit. It's very tame, very, very tame. It's a bunch of rich ladies in a seaside East
You
Coast town. Like, you know,
knitting, yeah.
yeah, they can afford $300 sweater. It's a different world, man. But
It's almost sci-fi. It's practically
I'm
fantasy.
gonna spend $300 on yarn for this sweater, and I'm gonna spend a year knitting it, and it's gonna be fabulous, and I can wear it literally 1 month of the year because it's so freaking hot with the natural fibers. And
You
and
know,
I
wear it to
say
that
this,
country club.
I say this because I have made those sweaters myself, but I bought the yarn wholesale, so it was at least $150 instead of $300 for the sweater.
Yeah, people have no
But
idea how much things cost.
I know. Well, here's how I look at it. If I'm gonna get a sweater, um, I'm gonna get a worsted weight or smaller yarn.
Mm.
So if I'm gonna knit that, that's gonna take me a solid year to knit the whole thing. And so $300 for a year's worth of entertainment while I'm sitting around where I would be doing nothing but scrolling my phone at some kids' activities is worth it to me.
Okay. Yeah, when you talk about it that way.
But if I'm spending $300 on fat, chunky yarn where I can knit that sweater in a month, not gonna happen. That is too big of a budget item for me.
Fair.
So that's kind of how I
The
look at it.
entertainment value has to play into that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Good. I think that maybe my block of the month is worth the cost then,
There
because
you
it's
go.
going to cost me. 7 years of my life at my current rate.
There you go. You can spread that cost out over time. It's
I'm
okay.
already spreading. I'm still on month three. I can't get
It's
over
okay.
month three. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Should probably
Colleen
work
is
on
here
that.
from Idaho. How are you, Colleen? You could do that. Why don't you do that? I'm encouraging today. I'm in a very good mood. I am 2.5.
I
I need
mean,
to I need to stop counting how many drinks I've had. This is what
I
happens when they're
stopped
all
counting.
blackberry. Stephanie
Blackberry,
just drinks it
black
because it's
cherry.
blackberry. You're right. It is black cherry. Oh, good thing my boss is a quilter and does not care that this is how I spend my Friday night. Oh,
Spend it with you. We do it for you.
it's all good.
Do
It's
it
all
for
good.
you. I mean, I still have my little wine guy in here from last week. So the thing is that last week that
Sh-
was too much for me. Like the couple glasses of wine, it was like, oh, I just don't feel good the
Wine,
next day.
wine
Please
hits
don't do
different.
that.
Wine hits different. I know you cannot feel great the next day after you've had too many of these. I'm gonna contradict you on that one.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Too many, but I can have far more of these and have a
This is
good
true.
day because they just don't hit near as hard,
That's true.
which is the beauty of them because you could just kind of
You could do like one an
float by
hour and be like totally
and
just
be fine.
pleasantly happy. But
Oh,
I feel like we're a commercial for High Noon now.
oh my God. High noon sponsor.
Sponsor us.
Come
We're your target
on.
audience. Oh goodness.
We're exactly what you want.
2 minute
I'm proud
old
of you for
ladies.
sewing though.
I got my machine out today. It's a little dusty. It's okay.
That's all right. Mine sits out all the time. It's starting to like collect on the stickers. I thought about making a little cover for it, but without my long arm, I'm not quilting, and so many of the things that I want to make,
You
like
are
even
so close.
I
Like you
know,
are less than what are you like 3 weeks away?
yeah.
That's pretty good.
So it'll get done, and then I'll never do that again. Mess up the timing on accident by
Yeah,
bonking
that's
it.
probably a good idea.
That was bad.
I've not been on mine in a very long time.
You
Very,
don't
very
seem
long
to
time.
like rely on that in the same emotional state as I do.
Yeah, not really.
Like
I don't know.
I need to doodle.
I just the problem I think is that my space is very messy at the moment.
Hmm.
And it's not just my space.
It
The
looks
kids'
beautiful right there,
space
but we know the
right
truth
here is
here.
fabulous. Everything behind here, not so much. The kids' space, I'm like literally stepping over landmines just to get to my area. It's very bad. Like I like to tell them I want a path from the stairs to where I work to my workspace because you come down and it's kids' area and then it's my space. I haven't had a path in weeks. And so it's not very enjoyable for me to come down here because I come down here and I see a to-do list. And
Oh, yeah, I do that too.
so until I get to a point where I can come down here and not see a to-do list, this is not exactly my favorite spot to be.
That's
So
fair. And it's
that's kind of where I'm
almost
at.
always going to be a to-do list. That's just kind of where we are
Well,
in our life with kids. And
yes, but very bad right now. My husband is threatening because my in-laws are staying here
they're
with our
looming.
dogs when we go on our cruise to Alaska for the quilt retreat at sea. And my mother-in-law, her love language is gifting and like service.
Deeds of
And
service
so
and such,
when she
yes.
shows up, she creates great joy for her to make everything clean and organized.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter if it's already been organized, she needs to do it her way. And once I kind of realized that this is just how she shows love, our relationship, fine. It had nothing to
Right.
do with her changing who she was. It had to do with me understanding who she was as a person and that the way she
It
is
wasn't personal.
behaving, which
Right.
is sometimes a little like, okay, it's like this is just how she showing us
Hmm.
that she loves us. And so we know that whatever state we leave the house in, it could be perfect. I could have it professionally cleaned and have not a single thing out of place. There will be things done to it when we return. And
Yeah.
so my husband has been telling the children, if the basement looks like this when we leave, you're going to come home and your toys are going to be missing. They will go through, they will organize, and there will be things that are gone that you might want. So you absolutely have to take care of this. And I don't think they
Yeah.
would throw out anything. I really don't. But it's a good enough threat to the children
It's a
to
good
get
enough
them to
threat for
hopefully
you.
clean a little bit. But apparently she's claimed she is not entering my bedroom in the time that she's going to be here. And I'm like, I mean, that's weird. You're going to be here for a week. Where are you going to sleep? But
On the
oh
lower
well.
bunk with Jelly Roll.
Apparently. Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Maybe the dogs will sleep in the bed and they'll sleep elsewhere. The dogs would love that. They would be
Just
down.
put dogs up on the bed and then
I know. My 75-pound basset hound.
do they have stairs or anything? Like,
I mean, they exist,
do they kind of
but
get the front up and you got to get the back up?
yeah, so you got to do a little pat pat on the bed and they put their paws up and then you have to lift their butt.
Yep.
And Willow
It's a
is
Sasha
easier.
thing.
Yeah, Willow's
We had to
easier
do the
because
same thing, long dog.
yeah, she's like 50 pounds, so she's easy. You just pop her up. Any of the kids can do it. Well, Jelly Roll, my 75-pound bass hound, totally different story. You got to put
Awesome.
your whole arm underneath her like legs, under her hips,
Okay.
and just do a lift because if you grab with your hands, that she'll do a yelp every time because it's too much pressure where
Oh
she
my
doesn't like
gosh.
it. You
We
got
had
to
to do
do
the same thing.
the whole forearm and it's just like goodness gracious, Jelly Roll. You need a walk. A lot of walks. Like
You need more
you're
than one walk.
I'm like, I love you, but you are gonna die early because you are too fat.
You die
And
happy at least. I mean, you
I
named
mean,
her,
there's
right?
that. I definitely did. Goodness, the dog. But
I'm trying to turn on my computer a few times. Maybe I'll open up. Oh, nope.
it's
You know
all
what'll
good.
happen? If I open it
We
up
don't,
on here,
everyone's not so commenty today, so it's all good.
it's okay. We're all over the place, but
We are a little.
this
Look
is
at this pile. I have quite the pile going. I
you do
kind of
have
love it
oh, that's fun.
when it does one of these. It feels very like accomplished to me. I'm very, very excited about
Yeah,
it.
when you start to have like the rolls.
Yeah, and you have to like keep pushing it back a little bit more.
Hmm.
Like that's an exciting moment for me.
Yeah, I've given up on all projects now. I think I'll just stare at my stuff. It sounds more fun.
It's all good.
I'm just not in the mood. I mean, I am in the mood. I take that back. It's not that I'm not in the mood. I am in the mood.
You
But
can't
I need
decide
to,
what thing to do.
yeah, basically. Either that or it's a step that I don't really want to do on the air, like baste a quilt
Yeah.
or cut something
I have
or read the instructions of how to do something.
I have steps where I'm just like, I don't want to do it, period. Like it's not an on-air thing. It's like we're done with this project now because I don't want to do that thing. I'm done.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of that. And
Yeah.
there's a few projects that I'm excited to do, but I don't have all of the interfacing and things like that for it.
Yeah.
So there's some bags and stuff like that that I've been wanting to do. And then my stabilizer, my 408 and 409 is like not fusing.
Is it old?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Well,
You
when I bought
probably
it,
could put a
I
spray adhesive on it and call it a day.
mhm,
Maybe.
it's just not fusing well and it's kind of annoying and oh, I know something I can do.
I very much remember my very first free motion quilting class. We were in a quilt shop. I was like maybe I was a newlywed. So I was probably like 24 years old, 25 years old, somewhere thereabout.
Hmm.
And they're like spraying this stuff, and there's like at least a dozen people in the class. And I was taking with a couple of my girlfriends who are my age, who I had recruited to join it because otherwise there would have been nobody my age in the class. and they're spraying this stuff everywhere, and it's like so toxic, like you can feel the buzz coming from it. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is probably not good. And they're like, and my friends are looking at me and they're like, "You're not pregnant, are you?" And I'm like, well, I forgot to take my birth control pill for the last 3 days, so hopefully not." I'm like, this is the conversation we're having. Is Stephanie high and getting the fumes from the
Oh
spray
my
base?
gosh. That stuff, you gotta spray that stuff outside.
I know. I think it was like the middle of winter or something. And I was like, this is a lot. This is a whole lot. And I really like never was a fan of spray base after because of that, but I know you like it
This
though. Do you
this
have a
hat,
favorite?
this hat has has a doll size.
Oh, you have to make a matching one. You now have to.
It has a doll size.
And you need a photo shoot. Is
It
there a
says
child
pug.
size too?
It says pug slash doll size. I'm not even kidding.
Is there a
Pug.
child? Excuse me, I have hiccups. Do you have the child size too or no?
Well, I have it, let's see, large. I have no idea.
Brittany is on. She's saying, hey,
Yay!
and I just based 60-degree diamonds for EPP. So she's doing some EPP tonight. That's fun.
Yeah, I got her all started up on that
Oh,
exciting
good.
adventure, and I think I ruined her in a good way.
My aunt went to Hawaii for 6 weeks and is going to Greece for 2 because she's retired and can do it. And she is EPPing her little heart out. She has so many hexy flowers. She's having a very good time.
That's fun.
She's doing all Tula. She's trying not to repeat any fabrics. And I was like, well, I can help you out with that.
Yeah, I was gonna
You can
say.
cut a hexie out of all 500 plus of my Tula fat quarters, and I will still have plenty left. You
I
go
mean,
have some
I
fun.
have an entire case of Tula Hexies right here.
Oh my
Just happen
gosh.
to have them, you know. They're not, I mean, there's some duplicates in there.
I have a
Not
lot.
many.
I have a lot. I have stopped getting the new collections because I have yet to do anything with the ones that I already have. And I'm like, it's just,
Eventually, those will be hard to get, and then
I know. But I'm just like, I just can't. Like, I need to do something with what I have before I add to the
that's
problem.
fair.
As much as I love her and respect her as a designer, I'm just like, Stephanie, use some of the fabric you have.
I really loved the dogs that she did, the collection with the dogs.
Yeah, that one was
So I
really cute.
bought some of that. And then I've kind of moved from getting a fat quarter bundle to use and a fat quarter bundle to save because I was doing that for a while. And I'm really
Oh
glad I
Lord.
did because I would, well, I use a lot of Tula though.
Yeah.
And so um, I'm at the point where I'm like into my save on a lot of them. So I'm glad I did it. But the newer stuff, I don't have as much of it.
Hello, Dee. Welcome. We're glad you found us. Brittany is using her big girl quilt shop fabrics. Did you take Brittany quilt shop fabric shopping?
She took her South quilt shop fabric shopping.
That's exciting.
We had the Illinois
Shop
Chop
hop.
Hop at one point. So now I'm just going to cut out pattern pieces, apparently.
There you
I'm going
go.
to make a hat.
That is harder to mess up. I feel like you can manage that.
I feel like maybe I can get all these pieces cut out and then actually make the hat later.
Chantel,
Mm,
I would make our sisters proud tonight, I think.
you you make them proud every night, even if you don't drink an entire case.
It's not a case, it's four. I mean, technically it's a case,
It
but
comes
it's
in a
not a.
case. No, I'm kidding.
She went to Kentuckiana Country Quilt Shop. Stephanie is showing her situation at the moment.
It's all good. I don't think we'll last that long. We're both like,
We're both having a good time.
we're trying.
We can do like 11, 11:30 tonight. It'll be fine.
What time is it? My clock's
It's
all off.
10:41.
Oh, we're good.
If I can make it through this stack and cut them apart so that it's another stack so that next week I can iron things, I'll be in good shape.
You'll be in great shape. My
I will
clock
be in
is
great shape.
still wrong from the time change. So it was looking like it was like nine something. And it was like, well, that can't be right. But in my head, what's really right after five drinks? I don't know.
I mean, you're better than me then. I'm only on four.
Yeah,
What's to say?
I just got a hiccup. So
Oh, goodness. This is like Chantal and I on the boat when we had no children with us. We were like, oh, we have nobody relying on us.
let's have a drink.
Let's drink. Oh,
And
goodness.
then we just ended up sad, but we ate
We
sandwiches and
did
it made
one
it
day.
better.
It did make it better. We had a little bit of a midlife crisis about halfway through the Atlantic
I
Ocean.
mean, I'm just glad we got to have midlife crisis while our kids weren't waking up in the middle of the night, like, why are you crying?
It was what I thought was great though. Like hindsight is 2020. Like it was quite the night. We were like, what are we gonna do with our lives? But we like had the same midlife crisis at the same time on the exact same night.
It was really
And
handy.
it was like we both had the same, like, what are we doing with ourselves? What are
I
we
don't
doing
know
with the
why
second half
either.
of our lives? Oh,
We just
I
like
know
looked at
why.
each
It
other
was
and
because
we just,
I hadn't taken my anxiety medication in 3 days because we were drinking. That's
and you
why I
couldn't
had mine.
see.
That too.
No, but
Oh,
I meant like we just kind of looked at each other and had the same midlife crisis at the same time. It just kind of worked.
it did.
We weren't
Oh
worried
gosh.
about different things. We were worried about the exact same thing at the exact same time.
And the boys, oh, that was hilarious. So
Oh
they
man.
knew I was like sliding down. They were like trying to come and get me to come out. And I was wearing this nightgown that I'd had for years. And like for me to
Like
be in a night,
wear maybe in front of your best friend nightgown,
yeah, your
not in
best
front
friend,
of
not in
the
front of
guys. Yeah.
like, I mean, they're not interested in anything that I have. But this is not something I want to open the door to and hang out. And so I'm like trying to like cover myself with like a sweater. And they're like, come
You're like,
out.
get out here.
And I'm like, I need tonight to wallow. And then tomorrow night I will go be a fun person. It's
Well,
like
and
it's a
I
13-day cruise.
yeah,
You can take one day to wallow. It's okay.
I loved that I like most of the time just end up sleeping in whatever I'm wearing. Like when
Yes.
I'm done, I'm done. And I'm like, this is really working out for me. They come to the door and I'm fully dressed.
And I am not. And I like
She's like fully undressed. She's
I'm
done.
just like I'm not going anywhere, guys. Sorry.
Excuse me. It was funny.
Oh goodness. But there is babysitting on the ship. So my husband and I need to have at least one night where we say, you are stuck here. We are going out. I get a date tomorrow night. I'm so very excited.
Wait, what?
I get to go on a date with my
With your
husband.
husband?
Yes, of course, my husband. I am not a character in one of my books. I have one love interest, and that is
I
all
meant
I'm ever
like,
gonna have.
I mean, you could be going out with, girlfriends and things like that. I mean, it wouldn't be a date, but I mean, like, wow, a date.
No, my daughter's birthday is coming up in a couple weeks. And so my in-laws were like, we're coming out, we're gonna give Angela her birthday presents. We're taking the kids overnight. You guys go do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, thank you so much. This is lovely. So they're coming around like one or two. I get to
Oh,
clean my
wow.
house without children around or do whatever I want, but probably clean my house without my children around, blasting Taylor
I
Swift
feel that.
Reputation because that's been like my
That's
anthem.
what she's living on right now.
Or or my like 80% smut romance book because there will
Ugh,
not be children to listen to that.
so
One of the two.
cringy.
It is very cringy, but
Both are a little cringy. Yeah.
I'm weirdly addicted to it. Like I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens to this poor girl.
This is, yeah.
Like I'm literally like this girl
She
is an
needs to know.
orphan. She's an orphan
Don't
and
tell
I'm
them everything.
no, I won't tell them everything, but I'm literally like she has to be an orphan because if she actually had a living family, they would just look at her and be like, "What is wrong with you? None of this is normal or
Maybe that's
okay.
why she's an
And
orphan.
absolutely everything is wrong with this situation. Are you not seeing all of these red flags? Like, she has to be an orphan because she has no one to like say to her, you've
Look at these
lost
red
your
flags.
mind. You have lost your mind. None of this is okay. But anyway, so
Oh my God.
so we get to go out, and apparently like one of his customers that he has a bar where there's no tables, it's all couches. So like you go and you order food and you just like chill at the couch and you meet new people and hang out. And so we're going there. So that'll be fun.
It's like
So we have a
friends.
date. Basically, that's what I was thinking. It's like Central Park where,
Central Perk.
yep. So that's what we're doing tomorrow night. So that'll be fun. Which I'm shocked my husband wants to go somewhere where he's going to randomly sit on a couch with strangers because that sounds
You know
like
it's been a while if he
his
wants to sit on a couch with
absolute,
strangers.
I know it's like his absolute worst nightmare of him having to not only sit with people he doesn't know, but speak to them. Like, my husband is like the introvert of all introverts. COVID was like the best time of his life when he didn't have to see anybody or interact with anybody or go anywhere. Like that was so amazing for him. It was
We'll see
his
how long
best
he
life.
lasts on this date. This is juicy information.
Oh goodness. He's fine like with a few people in small doses. Like that it doesn't bother him at all. But like
He doesn't really want to do.
this is, I think, why he likes being a UPS driver because the limit of his interaction is here's your package, have a great day, see you later. And like nobody expects anything more from him than that. And that is his perfect, like, I have talked to you,
Like
I have
I saw
seen
people.
people, and then I get to leave and go do whatever the hell I will after that.
That's funny.
That is his favorite situation. But Dee says her husband gently picks on me for some of my books. My husband is very interested in the books sometimes. Depends.
Not mine. Not
Well,
at
does he
all.
know what a high fae is yet?
No, but
He
he
just knows
did
about
he
fairies.
did ask me, he's like, what do you want? You want me to try to be a fairy or something? And I told him, well, only if you're high fae. And he's like, wait, what is that? And then that was the end of that conversation. So
Oh, that's funny.
yeah. So after that, he doesn't ask about the books.
I will say that if you do, I really want to say this. I don't really want to say this. Never mind. I'm going to stop my train of thought right now.
I have the ability to hold myself back.
Be careful if you want to try anything out you read in a book. You have to very clearly explain what the hell it is you want because they will misinterpret.
You
And it
such
will,
to these spicy books.
and it
Yes.
and it will not go well for you. I'm just going to say that. I said way too much.
Is that too much?
Way too much. Oh, but
I'm trying to cut on straight lines. It's not really
I'm
working
probably
anymore.
making it hard for you.
I mean, you're not
Uh,
helping.
D says hers either. Let's see. Brittany says, if you thought of targeting the mom quilters on cruises, like make it family friendly purposes, all the kids can do activities together too. Ways you can go
Oh
before you
yeah.
retire. That would be cool. So they have the ship line that we go with, Celebrity. They have what's called Retreat at Sea, and it's included in the cost of going. um, where it's daycare that's staffed by people who actually have degrees in like early childhood
Mm.
education. And they have activities for different age groups. So they're like the high schoolers do their own thing, the little kids do their own thing. And so they get to be totally immersed and having fun. And you can drop them off and go drink by the pool all afternoon if you want. Maybe not drink so much because you do have to pick up your children later. But
You are required to
or
pick them
like
back up.
you want to go to a show at night, you want to go have a date night with your husband, cool. Drop the kids off, go. It's not any extra costs. It's and so we're pretty excited. We're looking forward to that. I believe it's only open during certain hours of the day. So like lunch, you have to grab them, and dinner you have to grab them. but there's
They
morning,
have like
afternoon, and evening
three big
hours.
blocks of time
Yeah.
each day, a morning block, an afternoon block, and an evening block.
Yeah. So if you just want to go hang, you can go do that and do your own thing.
Yeah,
And they
this
will
is
be
pretty cool.
totally cared for and having fun and also very much enjoying the cruise while you get to go be an adult.
And they'll be around other kids and making
Yeah.
friends. And
Because I feel like, I mean, this is like the vacationing, like with your kids, right? It's a vacation, but really you're just watching your kids in a different place and it's more expensive to do it there. So, you're there, you're making memories, the kids will love it. That's great. But you're just a little bit extra stressed out because you're trying to get your children to behave and not yell at each other and maybe eat something other than a chicken nugget while you're on this expensive,
maybe.
you know. Oh,
Oh, when does this end?
how many
I,
you're going around? Be an adult though. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm looking forward to because
it's going to be so good.
we had requested adjoining rooms, but it sounds like they don't have too many of those. So we have rooms next to each other, but there's not a door in between. So like one of us is going to have to sleep with one kid in one room and the other's going to have to sleep with the other kid in another room. So like we don't even get like we're going to be in single beds all week. Like we don't even get like to
It's going
snuggle
to be like I Love Lucy.
basically from separate rooms. And
I
there's
wish they
probably going
had
to
an
be an
adjoining room for
argument.
you.
I know that would be nice because then we could just shove two beds together and shut the door occasionally, but that is not how that's going to play out for us.
Bummer.
But so yeah, I kind of would like to take advantage of that. Maybe not every day, but at least 3, 4 times over the week. So that way they can go do their thing, we can do our thing. We can actually enjoy it as a couple in addition to as a family. If I wasn't teaching on the cruise, I probably would drop them off for a 3 hour period every day. But
Yeah,
considering I'm going to be teaching every day as well, I don't want to like spend my whole vacation without my kids.
that's fair.
Michelle says she's done cutting her fabric pieces. She's made too many oops cuts. Well, that happens. It's almost
Yeah, we
11
do that
here.
too.
Yeah, that is probably the time to call it quits when you hit that many. Good night, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. It's almost 11 here too.
I think I'm going to be done at like 11. My nose is running and I need a bathroom break.
It is all good.
And I'm cutting paper. I just am not doing very good
It's
after
all
a few
good.
drinks. I don't have
Oh,
copies of this.
yeah, you don't want to mess that up.
No.
I feel like I need to at least cut these all apart and finish my situation. Otherwise, it's going to be a wrinkled mess.
Well, I can always leave you and then go to the, ladies and then come back too.
You can. I don't have that much. Well, I guess I do have a few left. I'm almost to the end of my stack. But
So apparently it says that there's a small, a regular, and a large hat. I thought the small hat was going to be the pug hat after, but apparently it's not. The small hat's for somebody like me that has a tiny head. The pug
is
hat
it
is
like
just an
you that
additional
has a
bonus
tiny
hat.
head, or would it work as like a child hat?
Probably a child's hat or me,
Yeah. Because
whichever.
then,
But
because it would be adorable if you and your girls and the dolls all had matching hats.
I know. You can even make one
That
for
would
John. There's
be,
a large size too.
you need to make him an American flag one for 4th of July
Oh
to
yeah.
complete his onesie ensemble. I think he
Oh,
would wear
which
it.
will be on vacation during that time anyway, so he'll be able to wear it on the beach.
He will totally wear it.
He will.
Totally wear it. I sent Chantel an image of a fanny pack that looks like a fat, hairy tummy. And I was like, I feel like this is something you might actually buy
Yeah.
and wear just because I think that that's quirky enough for you or
I feel
John.
like we had one that
Mostly
was like a butt crack.
I thought John would wear it
We
more
had
than
one that
you.
was a butt crack.
See, I'm totally on brand with this.
It was literally a fanny pack.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen the swimsuits that look like they're hairy chests?
Oh God.
It's really funny. Like I would never have enough guts to wear one, but I think they're hilarious when I see them on other people. Very funny.
Are you sure you don't want to get one?
I am hot. You know what? If I get down to my goal weight, I will buy one of those suckers and wear it to the beach
Y'all saw it here.
just to embarrass my children. Angela's getting to the point where she's like turning into the teenage stuff where I can embarrass her pretty easily. And she doesn't like the things that I like anymore just because I like them. And
Oh,
so
Hazel's already there.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this, Chantel. A
I
lot
know
of
you
fun with this.
are.
So much fun with
It's
it.
gonna be so bad.
I will tease the ever-loving bejesus out of her. It will be entertaining for me. I'm gonna have a blast.
I'm gonna have.
I have been playing Taylor Swift Reputation far too much. Like every time I get in the
Mhm.
car, Taylor Swift Reputation. And it is to the point where it's been so overplayed that Angela's like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I don't want to hear it anymore. And so I'll like randomly walk into her room and starts going, big reputation, big reputation. She's just like, stop, mom. And I'm like, oh, this is really funny. Like, you don't
Yeah,
understand.
you're
Your
really having
reaction
fun with
makes
your
it more
reaction
fun for
is
me.
making it more fun.
Oh, but
Ugh, I'm tired.
are you?
I
I've
am.
had too much to drink, is what I've had.
I think we need to call it.
It's all good. We
I'm
can
like
call it.
trying to look at the straight line. It's not straight, actually, it's curved line, but you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
yeah, I did pretty good.
you're like,
We're doing good.
it's like one of those like dash cam footage videos where they're trying to
Oh,
see how inebriated you are.
I am,
Can you cut a
yeah.
straight line or not?
Can you cut a straight line? No, I'm
I can sew
no.
a straight quarter inch seam a wall drunk.
Chief, thanks.
No, I know. I tested
Oh,
this once when I was in my 20s. I drank a whole bottle of wine at a sit and sew and then tested all my seams the next day. They were all perfect. Every
this
single
has
one.
been scientifically
It
tested.
has, absolutely. I was rather impressed with myself the next day, actually.
I'm
I
impressed.
I hosted, so I did not have to go anywhere after the sit and sew. I feel like that needs clarification. I was in my own home drinking an entire bottle of wine while I sewed with my friends on a Friday night because that's what I did in my 20s because I was really the cool kid
Now we do the same thing, but on the internet.
for for the whole world to watch.
It's pretty bad.
I
That's what we
know.
do.
You gotta find your interest somehow, right?
It's balance.
I mean, really, our Friday nights are not that different than they were 20 years ago. We're still hanging out together and having a beverage
It's true. In
in our
basements.
basements. I know,
Yeah.
a little bit nicer basement.
It has like central heat and air.
Yes. Mine still has block foundation walls, but they're painted.
My my back rooms do. This room has drywall.
Yeah. I have drywall on one wall, separating like a finished side from an unfinished side. I got one more, Chantel,
All right.
and then I can let you go.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe next time we need to start at like 8 o'clock with the high noons.
I don't know what we need to
We
do.
need to
You know,
not
it's
have such a
so
hard
hard.
Friday. Oh my gosh. Like
It
literally, this
doesn't
is my
have
life. I pick
I've
up the
been hungry
children.
the whole time too. I
Chantel
texted her
wants a
and I was like, I
burrito.
want a burrito really,
You should
really
have
bad.
Uber Eats that burrito to yourself, is what
Yes,
you
but
should
the
have done.
kids were gonna be in bed and Cubby will bark and everything and
I told you how to get your burrito, Chantel.
I know,
You
and
you
it's just
declined to take me up.
logistically it may have worked, but it's fine. We're not getting
It's all
any
good.
burrito. I'll go eat one of those frozen burritos out of the
I'm
freezer that
sorry.
I don't love.
All right. Chantel is hungry,
I am getting hangry.
and we've had too many high noons today.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right. We love you all. We'll see you next Friday.
Bye.